We now invite His Excellency, the Honorable Ambassador, to address the gathering.
A big pranam to Amma at the outset. Pranam Swamiji, all the distinguished guests, on stage, off stage, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you all to this 30th anniversary celebration of this wonderful organization and the decades of service that it has done. I've had the opportunity of meeting Amma a couple of years ago when I was in Vietnam. I had visited Kerala. And Swamiji would vouch, like for any one of us, it was an immensely moving experience to meet Amma, to be lost and dissolved in her hug as you embrace the divinity, feel the divinity in you, in her, and you feel essentially lost in space and time. I want to start off today by quoting what Amma said as the 7 steps for a joyful life. I hope this would be of relevance to all of us. She said to live a joyful life, as much as possible, keep your body and mind under control, number 1. Number 2, maintain a regular spiritual practice, at least to a small extent. Swamiji gave a tough goal for all of you, 30 minutes, but Amma said to a small extent. Third, make protecting nature a part of your daily routine. Again, a very tough goal from Swamiji. He gave you the number of trees you have to plant every year. But yes, we must protect nature. Fourth, and this is very important, she said, do not belittle the forces of nature and see them as inferior. I think this is a very important message as we today look at fighting climate change and getting together to collaborate and cooperate globally to fight the negative impact of climate change. The fifth, she said, look at life from a broader perspective, not just the microscopic aspects of a life, but to take a broader perspective to life. Sixth, she said, create a balance between your selfish and selfless interests. Again, Swamiji again set a tough goal, but in Amma's words, doing even a little bit of selfless work is like adding the number 1 before a large number of zeros which are meant for our own selfish interests. So adding that 1 is very important, however number of zeros we can add to our own selfish interests. And finally, she said, acknowledge and obey the universal laws set by God, who is the supreme authority. She also then made a set of important statements which I thought are very relevant and important to us. She said we should live this life in such a way that it benefits us and benefits the world. It's important. We live life for ourselves. So benefiting us, of course, is very important, but that cannot be the only purpose of life. We should not only benefit ourselves, but also benefit the world. Let our eyes be filled with the glow of compassion. Let our lips be colorful with the utterance of truth. Let our hands be beautiful with our acts of giving. Let our behavior be filled with sweetness. Let our hearts be filled with love for God and humanity. Let us make our hearts and the world more beautiful. I think this was her final message after she gave the 7 mantras to a joyful living. And this, in a sense, encompasses her entire message of her entire body of work and her entire teachings. How do we transform ourselves to be of service to ourselves, but also more importantly to humanity and to the world around us. Friends, today morning, many of us, I was in Berlin today morning. We woke up early and many members of the Indian community, we all woke up to listen to a message of our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. Since he came to power as a Prime Minister in 2014, he had started a wonderful practice of a monthly radio address to the 1.4 billion citizens of India, what he called as Man Ki Baat, or thoughts of my mind. And he wanted to have a direct communication channel, a way to reach out to the people of India, cutting across protocol and his high office, and also to get the feedback from the people of India about life in general, about government programs, our development process, and how common citizens can contribute to nation building and to the development path of India. And in that, he made a very important observation. He said that one of his mentors told him that we must always worship the good qualities that we see in everyone around us, be they friends, enemies, adversaries, or just common people. He said, if you worship the good qualities of those you interact with, you imbibe them, you grow into them, and that represents a small path for us to identify the divine, not just in ourselves, but in every person, every sentient being, the whole universe around us. It provides us a pathway to go beyond ourselves and to look at the unity of us all, what binds us together. And this, in a sense, is very important because this is also essentially the message of Amma, because it's only through service and through being of use and help to others that we rise above our own ego, our own selves, and identify that we are all one, that there is no duality in that sense. And this is indeed the spiritual path. What I found most interesting was when Amma was made the chairperson of the engagement group in the G20 group called C20, which stands for Civil Society 20. The motto for the presidency of India for this year, she chose as, I am the light, where common citizens and common people do not see themselves as recipients of assistance of the government, recipients of assistance of other development partners from the developed countries, or recipients of any kind of a help or whatever from an external agency. The Amma has succeeded in a way in reversing the whole equation and empowering common citizens through civil society to look at themselves as the light, to look at themselves as empowered individuals who can contribute to their national development, contribute to their own development and the development of their families, and act as agents of transformation and change, not as passive recipients of assistance from an external agency, but as active participants and doers of transformation in their own societies, in their own lives, and in their own countries. This has been a huge transformation in the mindset. It's a similar thing that Prime Minister wanted to convey through his various radio interviews and radio addresses to the Indian citizens, month after month, that the citizens are active participants in nation development, in the process of development of the country, and they are very much at the heart of this. It is with this approach that Prime Minister Modi undertook a remarkable initiative in our G20 presidency year on what we can do to fight climate change and contribute at an individual level. So far, when we look at climate change, we are only looking at the level of producers. How do we replace hydrocarbons with renewable energy? How do we increase solar? How do we increase wind? How do we do that? We are not looking at the consumption part of the equation. Is our consumption of energy sustainable? Is our consumption of resources sustainable? This has never received great focus, though this is very much a part of the Sustainable Development Goals, to have sustainable measures of production and consumption. It's part of the SDGs. But we have only looked at production because it's not a very happy message for any politician to convey to their citizens that you're consuming too much and you have to change your lifestyle. But we are at this point of the crisis that this has to be done. The best example I can think of in the developed world was what Germany has been able to do in the last 1 year, where common citizens have changed their behavior and their lifestyle to deal with the energy crisis and have succeeded in drastically reducing the consumption of energy per capita by small things, reducing the temperature 2 or 3 degrees, maybe taking a shower for 5 minutes instead of 10, and various other things that you did during the course of last year, maybe using a bicycle instead of taking out your car. And this has made a huge difference what ordinary households and people did in contributing through their behavior to fighting climate change. With this in mind, Prime Minister Modi started the life movement, the lifestyle for environment, so that common people can contribute, be agents of change and transformation, not leave it to our governments to say, how much money can you give for moving out from coal or gas to renewables, but where people can say, yes, this is also our responsibility. We can be agents of change. We are not passively sitting here and expecting our governments to take all the activity and all the initiative. And this is a new movement where each one of us, every citizen can contribute. And we hope that this will go further, and this will really take root and bring about much greater effort in enhancing our fight against climate change and to protect our environment. This is a great occasion in the life of Amrita e.V, 30 years that you have done. I wish each one of you greater success as you move ahead. We at the Embassy and the Consulate are always available for every assistance that we can to further your mission. I wish you all the best for the next 30 years of your journey. Namaste.